Hey Brenda, what did you eat? A huge sandwich. Hello, Magdalena. Magdalena, what did you eat? Daniel, did you eat something? What did you eat, Daniel? Hot cakes and a glass of milk. Ooh, delicious. You had to work, Elizabeth? Where are you working? Oh, I understand. You work in a retirement home? Oh, that's nice. Interesting. Well, I'm glad you're helping the elderly out during these difficult times. And well, anyway, there will be the videos are being uploaded onto YouTube. In fact, the class from yesterday has already been sent to the WhatsApp group. So if you ever get a chance, you can watch them on YouTube. No, I can't hear you. I will. Do you want me to activate your microphone? Can you hear me? There, Elizabeth, I unlocked your microphone.
Hello?
Yes?
Okay, hi, good morning, sorry.
Hello.
Hello, are we ready?
Yeah, we're going to begin. I just wanted to tell you that everyone's mic is going to be off.
Uh-huh.
And if you look at the bottom right of your screen, there's a little hand.
Yes.
Yes, it's like this.
Uh-huh.
If you click the hand, there will be 6 options. If you need to talk, all you have to do is raise your hand,
Yes.
and I will activate your microphone.
Okay.
That way, there's not many people talking at the same time, and everything can be clear.
Yes, I
Okay.
think it's the best form that we can listen better.
All right, great. So I'm about to lock your microphone, okay? And if you
Okay.
need to speak, just raise your hand, all right?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. All right, so let's continue. Remember, we are on planning an individual lesson or a sequence of lessons. So, key concepts. Let's see. Maria Magdalena, could you read the first 3 tabs, please?
Yes, key concept. It is a good idea to make a lesson plan look as simple as possible. The notes are better than full sentences. However, we might want to write down some important things in a complete form. 2. A lesson plan should be clear and easy to read during a lesson, using different color boxes underlining it are useful. And 3. Variety is very important. We should avoid doing the same kinds of things in the same order. Example, beginning a lesson with a conversation or always finishing with a role play. Some things we can vary in our lessons are the pace, interaction pattern, skill, level of difficulty, content, exciting or calming activities.
All right, very good. So, let me see.
What is dance? We have write
Oh,
down.
it's supposed to be write down.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, I'm so sorry about that.
Thank you.
Can you see? No, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. Now, if you notice, in my lesson plans, sometimes I write full sentences. Sometimes I just write little cues or notes. For example, I don't write the word students. I write SS. I don't say teacher. I put T. And sometimes I even use slang in my plannings, because remember, the planner is for you. The planner is for you. You should be able to understand it. You should make it easy for you to understand. Make sure it is organized and personalized. Organized and personalized. It is for you. Um, as long as you can understand it, then you're okay. Now, sometimes, like in my case, I need to make it a little I need to make it a little more understandable, because my coordinator checks my plannings. But even then, I make it kind of simple for myself. And if there's something that she doesn't understand, I explain it to her. To me, the S means student, P means pairs, OP means open pairs, etc. Make it easy for you to understand. It's not necessary to write, like a recipe class, anything like that. As long as you can understand it, it's clear, it's okay. Something that helps a lot with the planning lessons is if you have these type of notebooks that have the little squares on them. I know it's kind of difficult to see, but that kind of helps me, organize my things, putting everything like in the correct lines and stuff. Some teachers, they color their plannings. They underline, they put boxes, some even draw. Some draw the activities. Now it all depends on you and your style. Personally, I can't draw, and I prefer some simple things, so I just keep my lesson plan, following the guidelines, but very simple. And when we plan our activities, you know, sometimes we had to do PPP, or sometimes we do TBL, but don't do the same activities every time. Like, don't always do hot potato in the beginning of the lesson, or don't always ask the same question at the end. How difficult is it? How difficult was the class from 1 to 10? You know, yes, personalize your plan. And sometimes, it's nice to work individually, in pairs, in open pairs, as a class, in groups, in teams. Have variety. Have variety. Don't always say pairs, pairs, pairs. Okay, you two together, you two together. Have some variety. Tell them. One interaction activity that I really like is that I have my students stand up, and this only works with small classes. I have my students stand up and I separate them, and I walk around to each student and I whisper in their ear, and I whisper a type of animal. So for example, let's say I have 6 students. All right, 6 students. Well, usually it's 10. 6 students, and I say, okay, dog. Next student, cat. Next student, monkey. Next student, horse. And then again, dog, monkey. And I say, okay, everyone, did you understand? And they say yes. All right, so right now, I want you to make the noise of the animal that I told you and find your partner. Your partner is the person that makes the same noise as you. And all of my students, they make the animal noises. They roof, roof, meow, brr, and they all find each other, and they they laugh. We have to use different varieties, and they seem to enjoy that one. And well, the skills, it all depends. If you see your students having a hard time with writing, maybe you can do a little more writing. Content, you have your book. You have your book, but you can also bring your own material to the class. All right. Well, just like you have here, let me underline this. Exciting or calming activities. Just like you have those really fun activities when you are like working in pairs and stuff, or on teams. Sometimes the class gets really excited and you have to find a way to calm down your class. So my question is, how do you calm down your classroom? How do you calm down your classroom? Can you write it in the chat room? How do you calm down your classroom? Do you say shut up, or what do you do? Everybody freeze, macaroni and cheese. Sing, Brenda. Brenda, would you like to show us the Candadito song? All right, Brenda, you're on.
Okay, sorry for my singing, but it's something like un candadito nos vamos a poner, el que se lo quite va a perder. Una, dos, tres, and everyone needs to be quiet. I would like to Ila share the one of macaroni and cheese. In that way I could have one in English because I use this in Spanish. That's the only one I know.
Do you know the macaroni and cheese one?
I don't know, but Ila mentioned it, so I would like to listen to her.
All right. Ila, I'm going to activate your microphone so you can show us your magic. Thank you, Brenda. All right, Ila, I unlocked your mic.
Well, when I have a noisy class, I said macaroni and cheese, and the students answered, everybody freeze, and nobody moved. Okay, that's the way. Or Miss Elizabeth said, parararam, parararam, that's two. And class, yes, yes. That's three. I use more.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Look at Nelly. There's a lot on YouTube.
Nelly.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing, guys. Let's go on to the next two slabs.
Continue, can you suggest one for young adults? Do you have any?
For the young adults?
Yes. College, university?
Like, you mean young adults like 18, 19, 20?
Yes, 18 from 25 maybe.
They act crazy?
They like to speak a lot or make jokes between them, and sometimes it's difficult to have their attention. So the only thing that I did is speak clearly with them and just ask them to pay attention. I don't know any dynamic that I can use for them. I think it's difficult.
Do they listen when you say that?
I think not really.
Not really? Well,
I just start with the class and they have to pay attention.
All right. Well, what I do with my young adult learners is that we stand up. I tell them to stand up. I clap my hands really loud so everybody, oh my God, what's going on? And I make them stand up. And I say, okay, we're about to do yoga. And yoga, what? Yoga. And because yoga is a natural calmer or a relaxer. And we do yoga. And but first you need to do something really crazy to get their attention. Like yell really hard or something. And they're gonna get scared, and they're like, okay, let's do some yoga, everyone. Stand up, please. And I don't know, but that's one thing that I do. I don't usually have a problem with my young adult learners. I don't
But
know if,
imagine that you are in a group with 30 or more students talking.
yeah, that's where the problem would be. You can't do yoga with all of them?
I don't think that they don't want to do it.
You should
Or
try.
like Brenda does, a point less
Oh yes.
if you don't pay attention. 1 point less.
You could say something in the beginning of the class. Talk to them seriously. Like, okay, guys, today's a serious class. I would like for you to pay attention and try not to talk much. Before they start the chaos, you set the mood. Oh, Nelly, that one's good. You can use 1, 2, 3. Students clap. All right.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Let's continue to the next ones. Mr. Irving, could you read the last 2 ones, please? Irving? No, you have to activate your mic. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, the last one or the next one, learners?
The last 2.
Okay, learners need to recycle language, so including revision activities in our sequence of lessons helps a lot. Coursebook units are often arranged around specific topics, in particular linked activities. This may help develop different areas of vocabulary, but the learners may fail. May feel lessons are being repetitive. We need plenty of variety and task.
We need plenty of variety and tasks. Yes. So, basically, let me see. Give me one moment. I'm going to get a piece of paper. Oh, no, I could just do it right here. I forgot I have a whiteboard. All right. So if you notice, it said that you need to recycle. And I think that's very important. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay, right here it says learners need to recycle the language. A lot of times students think that learning they think that learning is like a straight line. And learning is not that way. They think that the most time they dedicate to it, the higher the level. And that is true in a way, but you will not learn by going from one lesson to the next lesson, a harder lesson, and etc. Learning is like this. So, and we can't make this mistake. Where we go, we do lesson 1, next day, lesson 2, next day, lesson 3. We do lesson 1, and the next day we recycle lesson 1 again, and then begin lesson 2. Next day we do lesson 3, but we recycle lesson 2 again. So we are recycling, and that is. Are you having fun? Yes, I'm having fun. And that is the way teaching is. Recycling. One lesson, next lesson, recycle. One lesson, next lesson, recycle. Exactly, Elizabeth. It's advancing and making a review. All right. So let's look at this next slide. Can everybody see this here? All right, cool. Okay, here are 2 sets of notes from the procedure sections of lesson plans. One for a lesson introducing and practicing new language, and the other for a skills-based lesson. What differences can you see in the overall shape of the 2 types of lessons? So look at the 2. Lesson 1 is for introducing new language. So that means grammar and vocabulary. And lesson 2 is about developing reading skills. What do you notice in the difference? Both of them begin with a warmer or a lead-in. But what is different from on the rest? Okay, drills. Which one has drills? On the focus on form, yes. Well, yes, you can use the drills on the focus on form, but what are the difference in steps? So let's take a look. Over here on the language thing, introducing new language, you have a warmer and the lead-in. Same thing with the developing skills. That's good. But now, if you notice, the second step is different. In introducing new language, we have a reading task, and in the developing reading skills, we have the pre-teach vocabulary. They are preparing the student. In number 2, which one is preparing the student for the lesson, and which one is already starting the lesson? Which one is preparing the student for the lesson? Yes, exactly. Lesson 2, in the second exercise, of lesson 2, we are pre-teaching. We are pre-teaching. That means we are preparing the students for the vocabulary that they might see in the reading task. And in in lesson 1, the second activity is students read article comparing the cities and the pictures. Here they are not preparing for the activity. They are already consuming the activity. What part of the PPP is number 2 in the first lesson? What part of the PPP is number 2 in the first lesson? Presenting, exactly. The presentation. All right. Well, let me explain what we're about to do next. We're going to fly by 1, 2, 3, 4 slides, and then we're going to start doing a lot of work. These slides will make the exercises a bit easier for us. Is that okay? Right. Let's see. Ila, can you read this to the class, please?
Of course. Selection, is selection?
Yeah, selection.
Selection and use of resources and materials. Consulting reference resources to help lesson preparation. Planning a lesson, there are many reasons for using reference resources. Some of the main ones are checking the form and use of a grammatical structure, checking the spelling, pronunciation, and use of lexical items, developing your own understanding of language, anticipating learners' difficulties, looking for new approaches to teaching the lesson and new classroom activities, finding out how to use the material in your course book, getting advice about particular lessons or teaching materials. There are many different sources to consult, like dictionaries, other books, web page, CD-ROMs, etc. But we need to consider that we can learn a lot for other teachers' experience. To do so, we can also check teachers' magazines that include regular articles by teachers describing successful lessons they have taught.
Excellent. And like Nelly said, we could also find some on YouTube.
Yeah.
So basically, this is kind of giving us an idea of how to select the resources and the material, right? You know, we're not going to bring a lot of visuals just to make the class pretty or just to make the class look attractive. Oh, this is a colorful class. No, no, we have to have it for like a real reason. Yes, it'll make the class look good, but how can I use it to supplement my lesson? All right. And these are some reasons as to why we can use the material that we are bringing and what we can consider when bringing the material in. Does anybody have any questions, or can we continue? All right, Ila, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, great. Next one. Very good. So we can do this quickly. Selection and use of course book materials. All right. Elizabeth, could you read this to us, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, selection and use of coursebook materials. Teachers often base their selection of teaching materials on a needs analysis like a diagnostic test for their students in order to know language level and interests. Once needs have been identified, teacher's task is to find the coursebook it matches the profile. To do so, teachers should ask themselves the following questions. Is the material visually attractive? Is it visually clear? Does the visual material help learners understand context and meaning? Is it well organized? Can you and your learners follow the logic of the material and find the way around the page or unit? Is it culturally appropriate? Will the context be familiar for students? Is it suitable for your learners' age and their needs and interests? Will the topics be motivating to suit the age, gender, experience, and personal interest of your learners? Is it at the right level? Does it provide a clear enough context and or explanations for learners to understand new language? Does it give learners enough opportunities to use language? If the answer to these questions is no, then we have two choices: to replace the material, to adapt the material in some way.
Yes. And, you know, that is kind of what we were talking about before the break, how sometimes the material just doesn't go with the group that we have. So, you know, we have two options: to replace the material, which is kind of hard, or to adapt the material, which is still hard but easier to do than to replace the material. Now, I'm going to show you an example. Can I close this really quickly? All right. So I'm going to show you an example of one of my favorite types of books. All right. So please look at the message board. I have a group that is only 7 and 8-year-old children. Is this good material for them? No. Why isn't it good? Okay, maybe relative clauses is too much for them. Okay. Okay, so if they are advanced learners, you think it's appropriate for them? The book asks to make sentences, so 7, 8-year-olds can't make sentences. Okay, speaking at least. Okay, yeah, maybe they could speak. Yes, they can make some drawings. Oh, very good, Eli. Here's the children expert. We need more pictures. That's true. Bingo, Irving. That's what I was looking for. The topic isn't part of their context. 7, 8-year-olds. Of course, you have some rare cases. 7, 8-year-olds, they're not really into celebrities. It's like, come on now. These guys they're worried about slime. They want to play what's it called? Fortnite. They want to play Minecraft. Disney. Yes, these guys are not interested in like celebrity culture such as Shakira, Lady Gaga, Jay-Z. But of course, you do have some rare cases. Okay, talking about technology. So my next question is this: who would this lesson be perfect for? Who would this lesson be perfect for? And why? Okay, they were familiar with the topic. They care about celebrities. Okay. Yeah, sometimes. Of course, you have those who don't really care about the world. Yes, high school students definitely. They love to talk about Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner. Most of them, definitely. Yeah, I don't think it would be for children because if you look over here, it says plastic surgery. Um, Here they're talking about like how our obsession is with celebrities is crazy. Sometimes our obsession is so extreme that we want to look like them, and we go and get plastic surgery. I don't know if you guys have Instagram. There are a lot of people who look like Kim Kardashian, or they try to look like other celebrities. So what you guys are saying about teenagers and young adults, yes, this is the perfect type of topic for them. Now, would this be for beginners, intermediate, or advanced? Daniel, you want me to check your book right now? All right, hold on. Give me a minute. Let me check it on my phone. Oh, Daniel, it didn't work because my email for Dropbox is different from the email that I gave you. So I responded to the email with my email for Dropbox if you don't mind sending it again, and I will check it later. All right. So another question is this okay? So now we said it's for teenagers, young adults, and it's for intermediate, advanced. You know, in this book right here is for B2 learners because it talks about relative clauses. And well, if you see, the vocabulary is a little advanced. Now, do you find this lesson visually attractive? Let me show you the whole thing. Do you think this is visually attractive? Or is it too much, or what do you think? Okay, more reading than visually. Colors are okay, but well, because of the level in intermediate advanced, I think it's okay. Okay, nice perspective. Magdalena, it's an old edition, so for you, it's boring. Okay, okay. Yes, I think this book is 2015, so it's kind of old. Yes. Daniel says it's okay. Hello, Maria Belen. Welcome. All right. So what is something that could make this lesson more attractive? Different topics. The famous person. Yes, maybe they can put Luis Miguel on there. All right. Well, I'm going to close this. Let's continue with our slide. Elizabeth said, well, why wow? You don't like Luis Miguel? Yes, I love his songs too. All right, let's see. Maria Belen, since you are here, let's take advantage of your. Wait, you are here? No, you're not here. Oh, I think she left again. Irving, could you read this slide, please? Oh, sorry. There we go. Sorry.
Course book?
Yes, please.
Course book provide the main content for a lesson, while material that needs to be more personalized will probably come from the teacher. When planning a lesson, think about what the course book gives you and what you need to add. Do I continue reading the chart?
Yes, please.
Course book provides situation or context, pictures, dialogues, tasks, and exercises. And the teacher can provide warmer instructions, role plays, and homework tasks.
All right. Can you stop right there, please? Thank you. Now, if you have a course book, the course book does 50% of the work for you. Imagine how hard life would be if you had to make your book and also plan for your book. So the course book is, like our guide, our foundation. But we, the teachers, we had to make the class interesting by using a warmer, giving clear instructions, role plays, and of course, we assign the homework tasks. Irving?
Do I continue?
Yes, please.
Selection and use of supplementary materials and activities. Supplementary materials are books and other materials we can use in addition to the course book. They include skills development, grammar, vocabulary, and phonology practice materials. Collection of communicative activities and teachers' resource materials. There are many reasons why we might want to use supplementary materials, like to replace unsuitable material in the coursebook, to fill gaps in the coursebook, to provide suitable material for learners' particular needs, to give learners extra language or skill practice, and to add variety to our teaching.
Very good. Supplementary material is anything you can bring to the class to help you with your objective. And those are the reasons why we might want to bring supplementary materials. It's always nice to have them in your classes. Can I continue to the next slide, everyone? All right. Let's see. Maria Belén, you're back. Could you read this slide for us, please? Yes, you, Maria Belén. I activated your mic. You can't see the slide? Okay. I don't know why that's happening. I unlocked your mic, Belén. But okay. I'll read it. When using supplementary materials, we must be sure they fit the program and the aim of the course. Students get used to the methodology in the course book. If you are using supplementary materials with different procedures, you may need to pay attention to instructions. All right? So, if you have a guideline, or something you have to follow throughout the semester, the students will get used to it. So whenever you bring extra material, make sure you're very clear and simple when you are given instructions about those materials, because it's new for the student. And selections and use of teaching aids. Teaching aids are resources and equipment available to us in the classroom, as well as the ones we can bring into the classroom. These aids can be video recorders, CD players, projectors, computers, language laboratories, visual aids, the whiteboard, teacher, realia, etc. It's a good idea to divide the board into different sections for different purposes. All right? Any questions with this? All right. So we're about to work work, work. Our brains might hurt a little bit after today. All right, we're gonna begin with this worksheet. Can everybody get this worksheet out? It's Tkt Module 2, Common Sequences and Lessons, Participants Worksheet 2. Let me know when you have it, please. Okay. One, two, three, four. Brenda, Daniel, Nelly, okay. All right. Well, we're gonna continue then. All right. So here we have some stages of a lesson. The instructions say arrange the stages of this language practice lesson into an appropriate lesson sequence. So this is a language focus. So we're not teaching skills or anything. This is just to focus on the language practice. Now, let's read the stages. A. The teacher asks students to listen to her giving modal sentences using the words in comparative sentences. B. The teacher asks students to list in pairs different adjectives to compare to other cities. For example, New York, Athens, and writes adjectives on the board. C. The teacher asks the students to report back their comparisons to the whole class. D. The teacher points out how the comparative of long and short adjectives is formed. E. The teacher asks students about which cities or big towns they have visited and which ones they prefer and why. F. Students report back their decisions to the whole class. G. The teacher asks students how these cities are different and puts relevant adjectives on the board. For example, big, clean, old, busy, polluted, commercial. H. Students repeat each sentence after the teacher. I. Group work. The teacher puts students in groups and gives them the names of 6 cities. They must discuss to decide which 2 of the cities to visit on a week's trip. J. The teacher puts the names of 2 of the cities, example London and Hong Kong, on the board. And K. In pairs, the students compare the 2 cities. So, what do you think is the first one? The first one is E. All right, give me a minute, guys. I've got to charge my laptop. There we go. It should be charging now. All right. All right, so that is number one. What do you think is the next step on this? Yes. Number two is J. Very good. And number three? Irving, Magdalena. You guys are on fire. All right, yes. Letter G is the third step. Okay, so far we have the teacher ask students which cities or big towns they have visited and which ones they prefer and why. Yes, we're setting the mood. And then the teacher puts the name of two cities, London and Hong Kong, on the board. Nice. And the teacher asks students how these cities are different and puts relevant adjectives on the board. Okay, we're getting them started with vocabulary. Very good. Let's see. Take 2 minutes and put these stages in order. At 12:43, we will discuss the correct order. What do you mean? Belen, I'm about to activate your microphone. Can you see if your microphone works? Hold on, Elizabeth, hold on. Belen, I'm not understanding. What do you mean you have to check all the worksheets we did? I don't know why it's not working for you. I unlocked it. What about your camera? What about now, Belen? That's weird. Let me investigate why it does that to you, Belen and Nelly. I will tell you in the next class or during the week. Well, let's check our answers. Oh, you sent the message to the group. I don't know why it does that to you too. I'm sorry. I will look into that afterward, okay? Well, let's check our answers. Number 4 is oh Lord, guys, you're saying D. Remember, first you present, and then you focus on the form. Yes, it is A. Number 4 is A. My God. Yes, first you had to present. That's why you give model sentences. You know, that's a type of way of presenting. And then before you focus on the form, 5 is H. Bingo. Yes. 5 is H. Yep. You know, 5 is H. And then finally, number 6 is D. Yes. Okay, so let me explain why. Okay, so number 4, you are presenting. Number 5, they are repeating, drilling. Now, before you make them pay attention to the form, you have to make them say it first. Get them used to it. Get them used to the new language, you know, build that muscle memory. And then you can have them, you know, pay attention to the form, which is how the comparative, the long adjectives and the short adjectives is formed. Very good. What is number 7? Seven is B. Very good. The teacher asks students to list in pairs different adjectives to compare to other cities. Very good. And 8. 8 is K. Very good. 9. 9 is C. Very good. 10. 10 is I. And of course, F is 11. All right, so we left off at 6. The teacher points out the comparatives. All right, and now you're giving the students an opportunity to compare two other cities. Okay, so now you presented already, and you focused on the form. Now you can give them a little less controlled practice by letting them decide their two cities. They don't have too much control, but you can let them decide the two cities at least. Very good. And now with the pairs, they can put the little controlled practice into use with the 8th step, which is in pairs the students compare the new cities. And then number 9, the teacher asks the students to report back the comparisons to the whole class. Yes, so first they compared in pairs, now they can show to the class. 10, group work. The teacher puts the students in groups and gives them the name of 6 cities. They must decide which two of the cities to visit on now the week's trip. Now this is becoming freer practice. Now this is freer practice because they are deciding which cities to visit. You're not controlling anything. You're just giving them the material and they decide. And now finally we have the production. Students report back their decisions to the whole class. They are producing the language. They have to tell the class why they chose these two. We want to go to New York because it has more malls than this place or than the other cities because it's colder, more opportunities. All right, so this is way of teaching the comparatives. If you've ever had a comparative lesson and it wasn't successful or it wasn't as great as you thought it could be, this is a good guide. This specific activity has helped me a lot with my comparative classes. Do we have any questions? Everybody good? Okay, Elizabeth says okay. Daniel says okay. All right. Good, good. All right, so I'm going to go to the next one. This is the sample task. Okay, so when we take the Module 2 sample test, this is an activity that might appear on your real TKT, this type of activity. So they will give you some stages. Boom, 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 boom. And you will have to complete the stages with the ones that they give you. So let's take a look. For questions 1 to 5, read the stages of the reading and writing lesson plan. All right. So this is reading and writing lesson plan, not the language, but the skills. All right. For the reading and writing lesson plan below, and fill in the missing stages from the options listed A to E. Let's see. My voice is starting to hurt. So, Ila, can you read the missing stages A to E?
A?
A, B, C, D, and E.
Okay. A. Groups check each other's letters for grammar and spelling errors and correct these. B. The students read the text and answer some questions. The teacher checks answers with the whole class. C. Students choose the best reasons and the teacher writes them on the board. D. The teacher collects all the letters to send to the editor of the newspaper.
Yes.
E. The teacher asks students in groups to brainstorm reasons for keeping the pool open.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So I will help you with number one. Eli, can you read the first stage, the teacher?
The teacher gives the students a short newspaper article about a swimming pool in their town that may close down.
Okay, so, one thing that you should do when you are doing these types of activities is just visualize the class. Imagine the class, take the time to close your eyes and just picture the class. Okay, you give the short article from the newspaper about a swimming pool that may close down. Okay, so think about it. These students, they must be worried about their swimming pool. Maybe they live in a small town and it's the public swimming pool. Over here, it would be like El Rollo or Sisi in Acapulco. And they're going to close it down. So imagine how your students feel. Imagine giving them the newspaper article. Imagine that. Okay, so everybody has their newspaper article. Do you have that visualization in your head? All right. So they're saying you are saying that number one is E. E. The teacher asks students in groups to brainstorm ideas for keeping the pool open. Okay. All right. Now, I see why you might think that E is number one. But look at the next step. Look at the next step. The teacher tells the students that they are going to write a letter to the newspaper to ask for the school to stay open. Yes, it has to be in order. It has to be like the correct flow. Number one is B, as Elizabeth said. It can't be E because number two is E. Let's see why. So we have B crossed out and E crossed out. All right, so now this teacher gives students a short newspaper article about, hold on one moment. All right, so the teacher gives the students a short newspaper article about a swimming pool in their town that may close down. All right, so you give them the article. And next, the students read the text and answer some questions. Okay, they answer the questions. And then The teacher tells the students that they are going to write a letter to the newspaper to ask for the pool to stay open. That is a perfect follow-up activity because they already have an idea of what they can write about since they've read the article and understood some comprehension questions. Next, they're going to ask students in groups to brainstorm for keeping the pool open. So you tell them that they're going to write a letter, and remember, the first step of writing is brainstorm. So number 2 would be E. Please take 2 minutes to finish 3, 4, and 5. And then we will discuss it here. Don't worry, Magdalena. Either way, you're correct. Finished? Three C, 4A, 5D. Teacher Nelly, you are correct. 3 is C. 4 is A. And 5 is D. Excellent. Belen, I activated your mic. You can check it. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Why? Yeah, I just activated everyone's microphone except yours, Maria Belen. I don't know why it's not working. Do you have on headphones? All right, so everyone is good with this? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're good? Maria Belen, thumbs down. Great, great. All right. Ila, are you okay? Brenda? All right, good. Well, that is number 1. Common sequences and lessons. Remember, this one was the PPP, the language. And this one was about the reading and writing, the skills. Okay? So that is the first thing we did. Common sequences and lessons. All right, I'm going to close it now. Let's move on to the next one. We're doing good. Everybody has this? Module 2, selection and use of teaching aids. Yes? Double yes? All right, Daniel. We're gonna start, but this one is easy. It's just a word search, so you can keep up with us. All right. So you're going to tell me which ones we find. You're going to say whether it's horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. All right. So the first one, they said flashcard. Okay. You see whiteboard. Both are horizontal. Yes. Blackboard. Realia. Huh, my lines are so ugly. I'm sorry. Blackboard. Between flashcards. OHP. CD player. Where do you see CD player? CD player. Puppets. Oh my gosh, puppets. OHP. What is OHP? Poster. Charts. Yes, very good. OHP is overhead projector. Overhead projector. Like the one we had in the classroom. Do we have everything? We need one more, right? We have Realia. We have OHP. We have 9. We're supposed to have 10. I think we're missing DVD. The worksheet says 9. Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you. All right, so we have flashcards. We have Blackboard, whiteboard, charts, Realia, OHP, puppets, posters, and we have, what is the last thing that I underlined? CD player. Now, do you use everything in your classroom? Oh, Nelly, I didn't see it. Realia is any real material you can bring into your class. For example, you can bring baseball cards. You can bring, something that reminds you of the real life. For example, if our topic is sports, maybe you can bring a very popular soccer ball or a very assigned baseball bat. All of these are realia. It's usually a collectibles item. Yes, clothes too. Exactly. If you're having the topic about clothes, then bring in some clothes. Real things. OHP is overhead projector, like the one we had at the school. All right. So nobody uses puppets? Nah, me neither. One time I tried to use puppets in my classroom. I remember, well, it wasn't necessarily a puppet. I put a mustache on a stick, and I gave a mustache to all of my students, so they had to hold it like this, and it would be like a mustache. And I said they had to pretend they are old white men, and they didn't like it. So I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again. You use it with your kindergarten? Irving, you use puppets twice a year? Can you tell us about that experience? I am unlocking your mic, Irving.
fluffy toys in order to teach grammar in a different way, just twice a year with almost every group. So it doesn't matter if it's high school, junior high school, or university students. They they love that class. I actually have names for my fluffy toys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, like you use them for activities, right?
No, and also in order to explain the activity, I invent them on like a voice, like, "Hi, today my name is Carrie, and I'm going to teach you simple grammar, simple present, and things like that." And I continued teaching, giving the class like that, and all of them, all my students love that class.
Oh
but
wow,
I,
that's
but
really
I, but I
beautiful.
do it just twice a year, just twice a year.
Just twice?
Yeah.
Why only twice?
Because it's kind of ridiculous to do it. But they and not and as you said, as I'm working with university students, they laugh, but they prefer a serious class. So, but I do it because they know about it. I have videos, and they always ask me, "Teacher, when are you going to bring Lemmy?" Lemmy is the name of one of them, for example. And well, I promised to them, yeah, okay, I'm going to teach you basic grammar with Lemmy, and I do it with all
Oh
my
wow,
groups.
that's nice, really nice, man. I love the effort that you put into the class. Really good. I'm going to try it out one day.
Do it,
Thanks
do
for the
it.
thanks for the inspiration.
The last class teacher next week with us.
In fact, in our school, we have a crocodile. We call her Coco. We have an angry bird. We call him Solovino. And we have a black cat. I forgot its name. And we have a teddy bear. His name is Ted. Very basic. But I've never used them to explain. I always use it to I always use them to like play hot potato or something, and we throw them around the class, or sometimes we play dodgeball with them. Like we torture the animals, sadly. But I would like to do that. That's interesting.
Yes, teacher, try it. Try it someday.
All right, thank you so much, Irving. All right, Magdalena. All right, let's go to the next worksheet. Is that okay? Elizabeth is nice. Yes, Daniel, you're good. All right, cool. All right. This is selecting and use of teaching aids. Everyone, could you get this worksheet? Got it. All right, Magdalena, good. Nelly, Irving, Ila. All right, great. So, work with a partner and decide which teaching aids you would use to achieve the teaching aims numbered 1 to 10. There may be more than one possible answer. Now, there might be more than one possible answer, but none of them will have more than 3. Okay? So maximum 3. And some of them will only have one answer. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 is pretty simple. To get students to build a paper aeroplane by following written instructions. We have a whiteboard, OHP, flashcard, CD player, DVD player, realia, computer, posters, puppets, phonemic chart, and blank paper. Exactly. We're going to use the blank paper for number 1. Yes, blank paper to make the airplane. All right, let's do number 2 and number 3 together, and then you can do the rest by yourselves. All right, Brenda says flashcards, posters, and OHP. 2, to teach 10 words related to furniture, table, chair, bed, desk, sofa, bookcase, stool, and shelves. All right. You said flashcards, definitely realia. Maybe even the whiteboard if you're a good artist, right? All right. Yes, of course, you can also use the posters, etc. All right. Number 3, CD player to teach the furniture. Ila? Oh, I see. You're talking about the pronunciation. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, in that case, that would be like a sub skill to practice the pronunciation. Number 3, you say OHP? OHP. Number 3, we're going to do DVD. To get students to realize how important body language is in giving a business presentation. Now, why a DVD? Well, because in DVD they can see the body language. Yeah, with the CD you can't see the body language, so in that case it would be wrong. But with the OHP, why the OHP? What can the OHP do? Okay, so you're going to use the OHP to project the DVD. Okay, sounds fair. All right. So please finish 4 to 10 on your own. Take about 2 minutes, and then we will discuss them as a class. All right, can we discuss it? Okay. All right, let's check it. Number 4, my TKT answer sheet says phonemic chart and flashcards. Do you have anything different than that? Ooh, the CD player, nice, nice. Puppets too, Daniel. Yes, yes. So check this out. When we use the CD player, we are receiving the sound. For us to actually practice the pronunciation, first we have to receive it, and then we can put it out. So indirectly, a CD player is a way to help you with the pronunciation, or just listening to it many times. It doesn't matter if it's on a movie or in a song, but very good. Now, number 5, it says, for me, it says posters, OHP, and a whiteboard. Anything else? A computer. Nice, nice. So you guys like to have them organize their ideas on the computer. Cool, cool. Very good. All right. Now, number 6, I have pictures, posters. Do you have anything else for number 6? Help students to design a poster in groups showing what they did during their last holidays. Okay? Yes, all of this is good. Yes, Madalena, I'm gonna add you. Okay?
I was wondering why posters, because it's supposed that they have to do a poster, so they use a poster to do another poster.
Okay. So a poster in this case is Just the paper.
It's not
Just
with
the
a.
paper. No. We can refer to the blank paper as a poster, or we can refer the blank paper with stuff on it as a poster also. We usually call it poster board, a poster board.
You mean in
But
Spanish?
yes,
In Spanish, the lámina o el papel
yeah,
bond is
exactly.
the same in English, poster.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
no problem. All right, number 7. I have whiteboard, computer, OHP. Anything else? All right, cool. Why did you say blank paper, Magdalena?
About the grammar, maybe you can try like the accuracy.
Okay. Well, here we are proofreading. So I can write it on the board, I can write it on the computer and project it on the overhead. But it's not going to be blank because they actually need to correct it. They're not going to write the writing unless you tell them to copy it. But it didn't give us those instructions, so it wouldn't be blank paper in this case.
But it says asking them to correct it.
Yeah, asking them to correct it. So maybe they can go to the board, or they can just say it out loud what's wrong. All right. 8. I have DVD, CD player, puppets, all right. For number 8, you just have whiteboard. Yes, also the OHP. All right. That's true. You can explain it to them on the board. And number 9, to help students revise new vocabulary from 5 different lexical sets. Why the phonemic chart? So they can focus on the pronunciation? Okay. And 10, blank paper, posters, and whiteboards. You have whiteboard. Oh, nice. Bialia. That's good. Maybe you can bring a, a blanket for the picnic, a basket. Maybe you can bring some artificial snacks. Good, good. All right. So, do you have any questions with this? Yes, it would have been nice to have a class over here in Acapulco. We could have a picnic at the beach. Coronavirus. All right, super easy. Let's go. Let's go to Acapulco. Man, over here, right now the beaches are empty, man. Empty, empty. I'm talking about the best hotels have like 20% occupation. Nobody's really going out. Yeah, right now they are better empty, definitely. I agree. Don't come to Acapulco. Don't get us sick. um, oh yeah, I'm looking at the bright side of these things, and definitely the beach will be clean. The air will be better to breathe. We will have more fish in the ocean. Definitely. So let's do this activity, no? No. This one. Let's do this activity. There is one extra option which you do not need to use. All right. Overhead transparencies, workbooks, authentic printed material, flashcards, DVD video clips, role plays, and bilingual dictionaries. Does everybody know what overhead transparencies are? Eli, what's wrong? This is an overhead transparency. It's like a projector that you can put transparent paper on, and you can write on the worksheets, and the students can follow along. Really cool machine. Man, I don't know the name in Spanish. Maybe Brenda does. She's the best translator I know. All right. We used to work with them 20 years ago. Oh my God. Nice, nice. Well, let's do this activity. Number one, students in groups look at leaflets and brochures to get an idea on content and language for a formal writing task. What do you think is number one? A leaflet is a type of brochure. All right. So number one is definitely C. I'll write it over here. C. Number two, the whole class does a task to develop the skill of listening for detail. Number two is E. Very good. Number three, students act out conversations as doctors and patients. Number three is F. Very good. We are role playing. Students complete extra grammar activities at home. Very good. They have the workbooks. 5. During formal presentations at the front of the class, students display the results of information they have collected. Number 5 is A. Excellent. And number 6, students are prompted by the teacher to call out the names of objects one after the other. Very good. Number 6 is the flashcards. Any questions here? No, no. All right, cool. So let's move on to the next activity then. We're gonna go to, can I close this? Yes? All right, nice, nice. All right. Can you find this piece of paper, please? Tkt Module 2, using reference resources for lesson planning. Participants Worksheet 1. You have it? Yes, Ila? Elena, you don't have this one? All right, great. So we're going to match the reference resources in the box with the reasons for using them below. All right, so these are our reference resources, things we can use to refer to the things that we are teaching. We have grammar books for teachers, grammar books for learners, learner's dictionary, bilingual dictionary, monolingual dictionary, methodology books for teachers, books or articles about learning errors, supplementary materials, the teacher's books from course books, the workbook from the course book, websites on the internet, and colleagues. Do you understand what all of those things are? Everyone got it? Yes? All right. So let's look at number one. A teacher wants to do some work with her learners on I and E and wants to find a minimal pair exercise. Tell me, Rinda, do you want to speak? Here, I activated your mic.
I want to know what's the difference between a learner's dictionary and a monolingual dictionary. I know what is a monolingual dictionary, but I think that a learner's dictionary is pretty the same. What is exactly the difference between both of them?
Well, the difference between a learner's dictionary is that I don't know if you've ever seen or have you ever had a book, a course book that has a dictionary in the back of the course book?
Yes.
Those are the learner's dictionaries where they only have the definitions of the words that are in that particular book. And the monolingual was just words in general.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, no problem. All right, so what do you think number one is? The teacher wants to do some work with her learners on I and E and wants to find a minimal pair exercise. I'm going to give you the answer to number one. Let's see. Supplementary materials and websites on the internet. Do bilingual dictionaries have the minimal pairs inside of them. An example of supplementary material, Ila, in this case, could be a pronunciation book, or maybe an animal book. A pronunciation book, an animal book, a color book, any supplementary like things that could help you in the classroom. Like if we're going to work on pronunciation today, then we can bring a pronunciation book. If we're going to learn colors, then we can bring a coloring book. Anything that supplements the lesson. Daniel, a minimal pair is two or many words that only change one sound. For example, bat and cat. Bat and cat are minimal pairs because only one sound changes in those words. It's phonology. The B, the B changes for k. Only one sound changes. Now, in this case, they want to do the I and the E. So one example could be bit and eat, because the B and the T sound are the same. Okay? Great. And let's see. Eli, you're good? All right, cool. Number 2, a teacher wants to know the common problems learners of a particular nationality have so that he can participate difficulties they might have with the instruction. What do you think is number 2? Very good, very good. Books or articles about learners, dot, dot, dot. Very good. Let's see. Number 3, a teacher wants to know how to make the best use of the course book she has been given to use with her class. Very good. Teacher's book. With the word teacher, it always reminds me of a student that always used to call me teacher. I say, hello, how are you? I'm fine, teacher, and you? Oh my God, I'll never forget that little boy. Number 4, a teacher wants to check the spelling of a word. A teacher wants to check the spelling of a word. Colleagues. Definitely, if you have a native speaker, you can ask that person. Okay, so all dictionaries. All dictionaries, the Learner's Dictionary, Bilingual Dictionary, and Monolingual Dictionary, they should all have a phonemic script on them. Maybe websites, you know, if you Google, how do you pronounce this word? Magdalena, colleagues, maybe. Very good. Next, 5. A teacher wants an extra grammar exercise so that his student can do another exercise on the present continuous. Let's see. The workbook. Very good. Supplementary, very good. Workbook, supplementary. Grammar books and websites. Excellent. Let's see. Maria Magdalena, would you mind helping me with 6 to 10, please?
A teacher wants to improve her own understanding of how language works to improve her language awareness and her awareness of how to teach language.
All right. Guys, what is number 6? Magdalena, if you'd like to, you can answer too.
Grammar books for teachers.
What'd you say?
Grammar books for teachers.
Very good. Grammar books for teachers. Anything else?
Websites on the internet.
Yes. Websites. Websites. Bridget says a methodology book. Very good. Supplementary material. Not necessarily supplementary materials because she's not the one that is taking the class. She's the one that wants to understand the class and teach it better. But so grammar books, websites, and methodology books are good examples. 7, Magdalena?
Yes. A teacher is having difficulties controlling a rather lively and noisy class and wants some ideas for strategies she can use.
Very good.
Maybe methodology, books for teachers,
Okay, methodology.
websites.
Websites. Colleagues. Like we did today, everyone gave advice. Books for theaters. All right, very good. 8.
A teacher wants to check on the form and use of the present perfect simple with yet and already. The grammar books for teachers.
Very good. Both grammar books. So that means the teacher can check the students' grammar books and the teacher's grammar books. Because sometimes in the students' grammar books, they have a different way of explaining it. You can take into consideration what they say in the student book and what they say in the teacher's book and combine it into your own thing. So both grammar books, learners and for teachers, and of course, websites. Websites. The best resources we have. Google. Next.
A teacher wants to find some stories for her class of young learners.
The class of young learners. All right. What do you think that is?
I think websites.
Websites? Okay, yes, websites, of course.
Colleges.
What'd you say?
Colleges.
You mean colleagues?
Oh, yeah.
Colleagues.
Colleagues.
Okay. Oh, you talking about like maybe you can ask your colleagues for some stories?
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Ela.
Yes, Ela has all the stories. And also supplementary. Maybe you can bring a Dr. Seuss book, The Caring Sting Bears, The Backyardigans, any of those books. Some stories in the grammar books? Really? Okay. Well, let's do number 10.
A teacher wants to check the pronunciation of a word.
Yes. All the dictionaries and even colleagues. And in our case now, we can even use websites. Google. Yes. So everybody has this? Yes. All right, very good. So just like yesterday, we only had a chance to finish 3 things today. The good thing is that tomorrow we just have 2 worksheets. We should be able to finish them like in an hour or hour 30 minutes. And we will have finished with module 2. It's much easier because the only thing we're talking about is planning and choosing the correct material. So to conclude, let's have like a little, I guess you could say, summary of what we did. In the first thing we did is the sequencing of the lessons. Now, when we are sequencing our lessons, what goes first? Drilling or focusing on form? when we are teaching language, what should be taught first, or what should be done first? Drilling or focusing on the language? Remember, that's the activity where you guys got confused. The first thing you should do is drill them. Drill them so they can build that muscle memory. And then you can tell them to focus on the form. After you have them repeat it, you can say, okay, guys, now what do you notice about these verbs? Are they in the present or the past? Okay, so yes, first you drill. Well, yeah, exposure is first. Exposure first, then drilling, and then you can focus on the form. The brain works better when you drill them first and then tell them to focus on the language. Of course, the presentation is first. The presentation is always first. After you present it, drill, focus on form, controlled practice, semi-practice, freer practice, and then a presentation. All right. So I have a question. The lead-in or the warmer, does it go in the beginning or the end? Okay, in the beginning. Now, you all know what gist is, right? Listening for gist, reading for gist. Listening for gist, reading for gist. We gist for the main idea. Like if I play you an audio and I say, what is the general topic of this conversation? That is a gist. That is the main idea. Or if I give you an article, I say, what is this article about? That is the gist. Yes, you can speak.
I don't know
You can also speak.
why you're using that. It's
What
before.
did you say?
I mean, I want to know why are you using that? It's for the main topic in the class, or it's before the expression drilling and focusing for. It's at the beginning
Okay.
of the class or in the middle of the class. I don't understand that. Why you're using that? The guest.
The gist. Okay, remember, we are talking about sequencing our lessons, right?
Yeah. But first you say that is the exposure, then the drilling, then the focus on the form, and then.
Oh, but that's all for when they are learning the language. The gist is not for learning a language, it's to practice the skills.
Okay, so it's. I want to know where can I write that?
Where can you find that?
No, where can I write them? I am doing my review on my notebook, so I'm writing the steps of the sequence of lessons. And for
Yes.
example, I write number 1 exposure, number 2 drilling, number 3 focus on form. Where can I write the gist?
I don't know if do you have the Tkt book?
The old one.
Okay. I showed you a slide. I showed you a slide that had everything on it. It's on both. It's on both of them. It's the old one or the new one. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. See, if you look on the board, we have 1 that is for the language, and we have lesson 2, which is developing the reading skills. Now, number 3 is the gist. The gist should be done first. After you pre-teach vocabulary, first you do the leading, then you pre-teach the vocabulary, then the gist should be the first thing. Make sure the students understand the main idea first before you make them scan and read for detail and all of that extra stuff.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Now, is it important to recycle the previous lesson? Or can we continue each lesson without recycling? Exactly. We need to recycle. Very good. And at what stage or what part of the class, beginning, middle, or end, do you assign the homework? At what part of the class, the beginning, middle, or end, do we assign the homework? Not check the homework, assign. All right, very good. Yes. Thank you. I know it might seem like an obvious question, but we have had teachers that say teacher at any time of the class. Okay. But no, it goes at the end. Now, what usually goes first? Doing an activity individually or checking the activity in pairs? Which one do you think goes first? Doing an activity individually or checking the activity in pairs? Yes, first you should do an activity individually and then check it in pairs. Okay? So you can say, okay, guys, I want you to answer these 6 questions. 3 minutes pass by. All right, everyone's finished. Please compare with the person that's next to you. Make sure you both have the same answers. Right? Very good. And that is it for sequencing. What are some different types of teaching aids or things we can bring to the class? We have DVD. We have DVD, CD, the whiteboard, like what teaching aids can we bring to the class? OHP, posters, Nice, nice. Flashcards. What is that thing called when you bring in real material, like the physical material? Realia. Yes. That is the physical material that you bring into the classroom. All right. All right. That is good for selecting the aids. And what are some different reference resources? We have the grammar books for teachers and for students. Anybody? The reference resources, grammar books. Yes, but what kind of resources? Websites. Yes, the ones that we just talked about. Yes, student book, projector, videos. Nice. Dictionaries. You can even use your colleagues, workbooks. Excellent. Supplementary material. Okay, guys. Well, that'll be all for today. No homework, but on Saturday you will have homework, and it's going to be the sample test for Module 2. So if you have things to do, try to do them before Saturday so you have enough time to do the Module 2 sample test. Okay, it should only take you 80 minutes. All right? 80 minutes. And then we can check it together as a class. Yeah, it's going to be online. In fact, on this platform, I'm going to send you a link, and you can click on the link, and it'll take you to the the sample TKT test, and it'll give you the results immediately. Okay. Well, that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's your weekend, and it's not the same to be on this, but I appreciate your dedication, okay? I hope you enjoyed the class, and we'll be in touch throughout the week so we can send you the material for the next module. All right? Okay. Have a nice day, guys. Nice weekend.